Okay, for in this video, we will be discussing system of nonlinear equation. Nonlinear equations. So that means we're dealing with systems. Therefore, at the minimum we have at least two equations to solve. So therefore, we will be dealing with two equations, two unknowns problem. So for example, our function 1 is this: y minus 1/2 e raised to x over 2 plus e raised to negative x over 2, while the function 2 is this: 9x squared plus 25y squared minus 225. Okay, so this is discussed in our book, reference book here. It starts with for function with two variables, the Taylor series expansion is this. So I'll copy this. Last time we discussed Taylor series expansion in one variable, right? So in this case, since we have two variables, this is the Taylor series expansion. Okay, so this is our Taylor series expansion. Okay, right? So this is the Taylor series expansion. Say our solution is x2 and y2. The idea of Taylor series expansion is that for that function near x1 and y1, okay, we can express that function. Okay, so if we rewrite this, Taylor series expansion for f1, this will be f1 delta x, negative f1, because it transposes here, and then this one is delta x, the df1 dx, just this delta x df1 dx. This is the change in x, and this one is df1 dy delta y, which is this. Okay, so the same, similar with the second function. If we write this will be negative f2 here, then this is delta x df2 dx here, and this is delta y df2 dy. Okay, so this is a two equation to unknown problem. Again, similar to what we did in Newton's method, we only capture the first derivative, partial derivative of the functions. Again, we express f2, say f2 at x2 and y2. It says there that the Taylor series expansion of that is f2 near x2 and y2, which is x1, y1, plus this one, x2 minus x1, first derivative, and then another first derivative because we have two variables. And for the higher order, that will be second derivative, third derivative, fourth derivative, so on and so forth. But we only consider the first derivatives, and we simplify this Taylor series expansion with this. Okay. Now this is two equations, two unknowns. Remember our lecture on simultaneous equation. We use Cramer's method to get the unknowns, right? Now, in using Cramer's method, we can now define or get the equation for our unknowns, delta x and delta y, which is this. Okay. So for a more discussion on that, okay, and again, this is the simplified expression, two equations, two unknowns. Again, in Cramer's method, delta x, the first unknown, is the determinant of negative f1, f2. We replace the first column with this coefficients here, and then the second column is still this df1 dy. Okay, df1 dy, df2 dy. I simplified my notation here, df1 comma y, to signify that I am with respect to dy. Okay. Now for the denominator, it's determinant of this 2, right? So that is df1 dx, df2 x here, and then df1 y, df2 y, which is this. Now, this equation here, the denominator, is actually called the Jacobian. Okay. Therefore, the determinant, this whole thing here is we call Jacobian. So, since we're dealing with two variables, actually, if you're dealing with more than one variable, you will always have to find, what can I write? Wait. This is what we called what's happening? Because I can't write because I'm using Zoom it. This is what we call Jacobian. Okay. So that's it. So similar to delta y, here, using Cramer's rule, we got this. So I'll copy this, copy, paste here. There. So using similar approach, so I'll be writing in delta y is equal to determinant of, now I will replace what? The second column here, right? So I'll put in df1 with respect to x, and then df2 with respect to x, and then replace the second column by negative f1 and negative f2. And of course, over here is the Jacobian. So operating that, we have determinant is processed like this, right? This one minus this one. So that will be negative f2 df1 with respect to x minus negative f1 df2 with respect to x, or negative f2 df1 with respect to x plus f1 df2 with respect to x, which is the same with this, right? Negative f2 df1 dx plus f1 df2 dx. Okay, so if you apply this here, that will be negative f1 df2 negative f1 df2y minus negative f2. But since this is minus and this is negative, so this retains positive. Oops. Okay, so I'll rewrite, yeah, so negative f1, that becomes, if I rewrite this, that becomes negative f1 df2 with respect to y plus f2 df1 with respect to y. The whole thing here is this. Okay, f2 df1y, f2 df1y, negative f1 df2y, negative f1 df2y. Okay, so that's basically the solution of the delta x and delta y. Now for the implementation of that in Excel, I have here, I already plot the two equations on Excel. So this one, if I click this is the f1, while this one is the f2. Okay, you can just similar to what we are doing before, find a x and y. Okay, for f2, which is this, if you will observe, my x is square root of 225 minus 25. That's it, because I'm getting, I relate that I transform the equation into square root of 225 minus 25 y squared over 9. So I'm finding x. Okay, so from this equation I find x. Okay, for f1, so for f1, I also transform this equation into this. So in order to plot this, okay, so you will see that the solution lies here. Okay, so we need to find this coordinate. Okay. Okay, so if you implement all that in Excel, so of course we have the x and y as initial assumption of x and y, f1. Just substitute our initial x and y to f1 and f2 and get the partial derivatives with respect to x, partial derivatives of f1 with respect to y, partial derivatives of f2 with respect to x, and partial derivative of f2 with respect to y. So you have that equation, and substitute the initial x and y and find the Jacobian, just this, and then applying the formula we derived, we get the delta x and delta y. This delta x, delta y will determine now the next value of your x and y from the initial value. So implementing that, we have this solution, negative 3 and positive 2.38. Okay, so I'll give this spreadsheet so you can learn on your own. Okay, with the help of this spreadsheet. So I think we were able to find the this coordinate is here, this one. Okay, because that is negative x and positive y. So for sure, our other solution is positive x and positive y. Okay.